little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Makuru was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about...
That's right.
What happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're...
Indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Whoa, was that the end of chapter 5? We didn't lose anyone. To be continued. You received the Dream Island rocket. Oh, I think we're close to the end. Could we lose more people? I don't know. And is one of us the mastermind? I don't know. I hope not. I love this fucking game. I don't have much to say. You know, I feel really bad about choosing the wrong end. Like, oh, I fucked up so bad. I should have understood the themes of the game. I knew the themes too. I was thinking about it all the time, but I still messed up. It went the way of the killing game. I love Kyoko, man. She's great. I love all the characters we have left. You know, Toka, Aoi, even Byakuya, and Yasuhiro. Yasuhiro's probably my least favorite. Like, he's not as interesting as everyone else, but I do like him. Oh, I don't want to lose anyone else. But who knows what will happen. Who's the mastermind? Oh, well, I'll see you next time. We're back with Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Last time, a lot of stuff happened that was upsetting and hopeful at the same time. So we had the trial for Makuru Ikusaba's murder. I'm pretty sure none of us did it. It was the mastermind. We didn't give up Kyoko. We didn't expose her lie. And then everyone voted Makoto. But he was saved from his execution by Alter Ego. Which was, you know, a really amazing moment. Now we're trapped with Kyoko down in the pit. And we're gonna try to find out the other ultimate despair. Whoever that may be. I actually thought we were close to the end, but I had a look at chapter selector. There's still 2 more chapters to go. It's crazy. I thought we were so close to the end. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now... Right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story could come after. Yeah, you're right. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
I completely forgot about that. Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it could open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Oh, okay, that just repeats. To the door! Wait, can I look at the trash that Kyoko came down in? It's so amazing that she actually went in the trash and fell down here to help us. Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... Yes! It opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. That is so ominous. Ominous. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The surface. Well, we really got to reach the surface. There's I shouldn't say anything, but it's worth noting that when there's like an upskirt shot, there's this shadow up there. We saw it with Junko when she stepped on Monokuma. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet behind me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. You never say anything like, don't look down, because then you can't stop thinking about it. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. Even as a child? I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. But your father was the headmaster of a school? So he deviated from the family legacy? Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, Wen was looking up info about the school online. I never saw anything about her. That was a weird sentence. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family, and you hold that against him? I suppose he did abandon the family. Because, yeah, I mean, that's pretty shitty. If I'm reading this right. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. It's interesting because normally it's the child who, abandons the family legacy. I know it's the parent and then their child who wants to hold it up. In this case, I mean, I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. She probably would have been giving you her blank-ass expression like she always does. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing. One thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. You can't tell her she's wrong, that's the thing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. So where does this come out, I wonder? Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of the... You okay, Kyoko? I'm fine. On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. Out of nowhere, Kyoko just starts going... I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? Oh! I completely forgot about that. I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I haven't been in the trash room since Leon. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... what's Monokuma gonna do when he finds out Makoto's, escaped his execution? Looks like we're back. I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. This is how we got out of the garbage pit. I never would have imagined that's where this led. Very insightful of Kyoko to realize that's where I was. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... and I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might.
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
in other words...
let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
however...
if we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry, what you think is going to happen isn't.
Because
the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
the mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Makuru's death. Makuro. I don't know why I keep saying Makuru. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. He rigged the trial. I don't think he's done that before. No matter who was black, if he was going to execute them. Because it wasn't any of us. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Okay. Monokuma!
Just a second.
What business do you have in my room? The gym's where we need to go, where Monokuma is. I wanted to see if she had something to say about that. That's great.
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
Hey! Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
But Makoto's supposed to be dead! What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
Pum, pum.
You were supposed to be punished! Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. But the guilty party was not exposed. You're a liar. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule.
You're making me angry!
So now I gotta punish you again. And this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko.
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh?
Huh? I lose?
Hey!
You explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen and blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. But because you never imagined that in that position one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However...
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Makuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose. You talk a big game. You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well...
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
That doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth.
Pum, pum.
And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because...
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
However...
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
Indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey.
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. That's a good line.
Hey.
Of course you can say we're just making all this up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
That's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Makuro's trial over again. Only this time you followed the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Hell yeah!
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown, in other words. This will be our chance to expose the true identity of Makuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. For what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you've suggested might be plausible, It would certainly make for one honey of a climax. I wonder if the mastermind was like, you know, I should have Monokuma make bear puns. And then, like, spend the whole night looking up bear puns.
In other words...
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And will cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown! He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Bear it!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pulling around the school. If you can do that...
I can barely contain myself!
then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
It's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good, then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Makuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I wanted to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure, so what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious, I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Makuro is no exception to that. Huh? Makuro's trial is no exception? Then it's part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Makuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but... this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd he go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry!
I'm done talking. I've got nothing left to say to you. He's implying one of us is the mastermind. I don't know if I believe him. I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad?
Whew.
He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair. You're gonna regret that decision because I'm gonna get your ass, Monokuma. Just you wait.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. If one of us is the mastermind, the obvious suspect is Byakuya. But do I believe that? You know, he has the power, he has the money, he has the elite family. So, theoretically, he has the potential to set something like this up. But I don't think it's him, though. So then again, if you think about it, he's talked about how bored he was with everything before the killing game started and how exciting it is. But he bowed out of the game. Was that a trick? No. I trust Byakuya. As much of a dick as he is, I trust him. I trust everyone, though. I don't think any of us would. It's a lie. I choose to... It's a lie. I will stand by hope and not give in to despair. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Hey, baby. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now was because of you.
However...
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true.
Whew.
But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
So...
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
Because...
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
So...
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
Listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However...
And yet somehow, the mastermind was able to do it.
In other words...
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
So...
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world?
It would seem...
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words...
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
Correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey.
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
That's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, is the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet... that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The masterminds had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules, to get me killed. Oh man, poor Junko. That was so long ago too. They began a trial that didn't even have a right answer, that made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove it to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge. It proves they're human, for one. You know, they make a mistake and they make mistakes and they feel vulnerable. They backed into a corner.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance, because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't even have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. 'Cause she's a badass. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it will cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? We have to. Come on, Kyoko. Huh?
anyway,
Right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go?
Anyway,
Okay. Hey guys, where you at? And suddenly we were greeted with... You again. Who's that spell out zone 121255? Is he broken?
whew,
I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. What the fuck was that? Jeez, what the heck?
however,
I wonder what that was all about. Are they in the data center and they're messing around with Monokuma? I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
Oh my gosh, even Toko is happy to see us. Look at that smile!
You guys!
Oh, this is so sweet.
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Oh, this makes me feel so good. I love this.
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
No, my boy, I'm no ghost. Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up. Yes! I kind of feel it a bit too. I'm not gonna actually cry, but I do feel a little teary. This is so sweet.
What?
Wait, what's that smell? Oh, it's ruined now because Makoto stinks.
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away! Shoo, shoo! And in a flash, my tears dried up. It could be Kyoko too. She had those fucking noodles in her hair.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. Yeah, I know. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? Even so, that little brief moment we got was so nice. But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial.
Huh?
Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Makuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? Dude, come on. No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying, it was all... Byakuya? What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Bakuro?
That's right.
That's right, it was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Where has Bakuro been this whole time then? In the dorms on the second floor, maybe? Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy, I just, you know.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rule states that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
Huh?
Hey, the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you. I keep chuckling. It's just really funny to me to picture these super intelligent characters, like, getting tongue-wagged and start going... Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared, that's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean!
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again, later. So knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Makuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Huh?
Every last mystery?
But
we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh no!
Everyone?
I hate you.
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I meanwhile want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
Anyway,
At this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth.
Interesting.
In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But
But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Makuro and all the school's mysteries? It's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh?
I
can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Don't fall for the trap, Kyoko. It's not one of us. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his... Hint? Yeah, it's about the... I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 students, all of them high school students, and the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak Academy since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. No, she's wrong. Huh? But why?
So, in other words...
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Makuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in this school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Makuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
In other words...
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. The mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Makuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue or do you get it now?
What?
You say the mastermind is one of us?
no way!
You can't be serious. Well, wait, we can't say that for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. I refuse this possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So there must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But one of us was the mastermind. They'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious any time Monokuma was active? I was thinking about this too.
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right?
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Or maybe, but still.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode.
Damn.
So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
Ah.
Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Does that include the dorm rooms? How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can rely only on myself, under Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then, guys, we have to do this together. Come on! After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Monokuma told us that, knowing we would turn against each other. Master, he didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. You're totally useless. So bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Oh, come on, guys. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too. God damn it, Hero.
Just a second.
I liked you for a whole 2 seconds then. Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Are you with me, Hina? Or not? Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know. But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died.
Huh?
Makoto! That's really nice of you to say.
But
still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in a surprisingly high spirit, so she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Are you with me or not? So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However...
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
So...
That goes for all of us. Right, this goes to the whole make our own conclusions thing, right? I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see this as splitting up the coverable ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right!
So then...
Well, I'd better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
Correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone. Leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. Right. I guess I'll start by taking another look at the Kuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Makuro Ikusama, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Oh boy, this is gonna be a huge investigation. First off, I want to check if the dorm rooms are unlocked. Off the top of my head, thinking about ultimates that could control Monokuma, Chihiro's the ultimate programmer, right? You know, but he's dead. Can I go in Taka's room? Oh, Taka's room. The door is unlocked. But it has nothing to do with my investigation. No time for detours now. Really? Damn, missed opportunity. Okay. Could anyone here's rooms be relevant? Sayaka? Right, Sayaka. That was a cool touch. Did you see that? Right, Sayaka. He still thinks about her. That's amazing. I love that touch. This is Byakuya's room. If I set foot inside without asking, he'd feed me to the vultures. Junko. Oh, Junko's room. The door's unlocked. Toka's room. The door's unlocked. Alright, no one's room is relevant. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms, which means I have to do it. This is the second floor of the dorms? It looks like some ancient ruins. Oh no, it's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up here or something. And that, my friends, is enough for today. Oh man, shit is really kicking off. And it's gonna be so exciting. We're so close to the end. And then, you know, when we finish, we can get straight to Danganronpa 2, which I hope you guys enjoy as well. We're gonna get into the mysteries, find out the mastermind, all that good stuff. It's so exciting. I love this game. I love this game. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, press like, please. Subscribe if you want to see more. And comment. Tell me what you think of my dumbass self, or my great self, whatever you think of me. And I'll see you guys next time on Let's Play Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Bye bye, I love you all. Stay safe, and stay happy.